What's up everybody, Ryan here. First no heat of the season. I went down into the dining room and the thermostat appears to be calling for heat. So we're up here on this little York unit. I'm gonna open it up, see what we've got going on. I hear a blower running. So we should have power. First things first, I'm gonna open up the electrical panel and see if we're even calling for heat. All right, guys, we've got a flash code here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Do. Ignition control locked out, ignition control failure, or limit switch. All right, so I'm going to confirm that I do have a call, but I'm assuming we do since we've got a lockout code. All right, that's 26 volts at W. So I'm going to move on over here, get the heating section opened up, check to see if our limit switch is open. I believe these have that little resettable limit switch. Possible that that's tripped. All right, guys, so I checked this limit back here and we have voltage on either side. You know, trying to film this stuff with the camera is quite difficult, but take my word for it. I've got 24 volts to ground on one side and 26 volts to the ground on the other. So I've got voltage running through that switch right there. It's not tripped. I'm gonna go ahead and check my rollout switch right now, and it's right here. That's gonna sense any heat up above the burners. If there's a crack in the heat exchanger and it's rolling out, it will trip that limit. It will trip that switch, and it's a resettable switch, auto reset, but I believe if it trips too many times, then it's gonna lock the board out. So we're definitely gonna be checking the heat exchanger on this, checking the blower. But first off, let me check this switch and see if we are open or closed. And I've got, I'm on the sticker, 26 volts on one side, 26 volts on the other. So our limit and our rollout are both closed. All right, that's not saying that rollout wasn't opening and hadn't opened a certain amount of times to lock out our heating ignition control board. Open up the blower compartment here. Our blower is running, that's good. And I don't see any other limits or anything in here. So I'm gonna shut the power off and we're gonna inspect the heat exchanger. Well, let's take a peek here. All right. Check that. These all look pretty decent. Not getting too in depth. I don't see any of the seams rotted out or anything like that. All right, guys, I checked the other limit inside here. We do have continuity. So I think we're in decent shape on all the limits, but what caused that thing to trip? We get these wires pushed back on and we're gonna reset it and see what it does. All right, guys, heat exchanger looks good. Blower's running. Limits are all closed. Rollout's closed. Let's take a peek at these filters. If I can get my drill in here. Filters aren't horrible. Look pretty good to me. I mean, they're a little dirty, but they're not horrible. Nothing that I would assume would trip the limit. All right, now I'm gonna reset power. Wait for the time delay on the thermostat. All right, she lit up already. Blower's running. Oh, and we're rolling out. See that? Why are we rolling out? I bet you we got something plugging up this burner or plugging up that orifice. Let's take a look at that one more time. What are we flashing over here? We're flashing normal. I heard the rollout switch trip there. I heard the rollout switch go ahead and shut. What we got here? We're flashing normal. It should come back on. I want to catch that on video, but this burner right here was rolling out. So I'm gonna have to go grab some pipe wrenches, shut this off. We're gonna pull all this out and inspect it. All right, here we go. Let's watch this again. All right, so our carryover tube lit, then we lit our main burners. See that? All right, that rollout switch is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. That flame rolled out, heated up this rollout switch, and it opened and shut the gas valve off immediately. I'm guessing we have something plugging up that burner or plugging up this orifice, and it's not allowing it to ignite, and then the gas is building up, and the other burners are then igniting that gas and it's rolling out. So let me go get some pipe wrenches. We're gonna break the union here. We're gonna pull all this out. We're gonna pull the burners out, and we're gonna take a look and see what we've got, what's causing that rollout. Guys, I've got my union cracked loose, all my wires pulled off the gas valve, my flame sensor and igniter wire are removed. I'm going to remove these two 5/16 screws, and that's going to allow this whole burner assembly to pull out, and then we'll inspect it and see what's causing that rollout here on the first burner. All right, guys, got the whole thing pulled out here. And as you can see, we've got a pilot tubing that feeds down over and around to an orifice through this carryover tube. And all that does is it ignites here, and then it proves flame here. And once the flame is proven, then the main valve on the gas valve opens, and you get your gas delivered through the manifold, through the orifices, through the burners, and they all light off of this pilot, this carryover tube that was fed by this pilot tubing here. That's PV on your gas valve, and then MV on your main burner. So, oh yeah, let me get you a better look here. But we have a spider web in there. That's exactly what we have. I can see the orifices through all of these burners, but this one I can't, and it's probably not picking up on camera, but we have a spider web in there. See that? 1 is good, 2 is good, 3 is good, 4 is good, and this first burner has a spider web in it. Let me pull that out. The rain's starting. What I'm gonna do is loosen up here and here, and then that's going to allow this plate to come forward just enough. Look at that. I'm not sure if that's showing up on camera, but there's a spider web in there. I should be able to see right through that burner, but I can see spider web. Hopefully it's picking up on camera. So that's what's happening. The gas was being delivered into the burner, but it was only coming to here, and it was all spewing back out where the air mixture, where the air enters to mix with the gas. It was coming back out, and then the other burners were lighting that gas that was accumulating in the burner box. So there's some of the spider eggs just fell out. I think I'm gonna stick something down there. We're gonna clean this thing out real good. Old zip tie ought to do it. There it is. There it is. See that? Spider webs. Unbelievable. So we've got our same burner here. Now we can see through it. I am going to take a wire brush to it. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to blow it out with some nitrogen, but that's what caused our rollout, and that rollout switch did exactly what it was supposed to do. And just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and check all these orifices. I'm going to brush off the carryover tube, all the burners, and then we'll get this thing put back in place. Another thing that would cause that to roll out is if there was a crack in this section of the heat exchanger, and when that blower kicks on it, it can disrupt that flame and it will roll out just exactly like you saw here. In this case, it was the spider web blocking the gas path through the burner. But it would even be gas at that point. Well, it would be, because it doesn't ignite. So it was interrupting the gas path through the burner. I'm gonna go ahead, clean everything up, get it buttoned back up, we'll cycle it. Looks like the rain is gonna be coming harder here any minute, so let me get on this. All right, they're all clean. right, guys, the wind is picking up here, so I got them cleaned out pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it back in. There's 2 posts. There's 2 posts this whole assembly is gonna fall on. There's 2 holes. Just stick it in there. Find those posts. Come on. Find those 2 posts, those 2 holes, and there they go. So we're back in business. You see how those 2 posts fit right through those 2 holes, and that supports the whole thing. So I got my union hand tight. I'll make sure to tighten that up with my pipe wrenches when I get all my wires back in place. All right, gas. Let me tighten this thing up. Like I said, it's raining now. Lovely. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fire it up. Gonna have to bleed out a little bit because I had all this gas piping emptied, so here we go. All right, baby, no rollouts yet, and I don't think we're gonna. That Spiderweb is very strong. It's amazing. Amazing Spider-Man. All right, guys, I went and waited out the rain here, and as you can see now, we've got some beautiful sunshine coming our way. The rain is down that way now. And in the meantime, I went and got my awesome merch from HVACR Videos. That's Chris Stevens, of course. So I've got the unit running now. Just fired it back up. I'm gonna take a Temp Rise on it while I check and make sure everything's good. I'm gonna cycle it a couple of times, and I think we're gonna be in decent shape. Everything's looking good in here. Everything's looking good in here. All right, 110. Let's get our return temp. Should be around 70. It was reading 67 when I went in there, which in my opinion did not justify an emergency no heat call, but when you're on call, you must go. Let's see, Temp Rise, 35 to 65 degrees. We service these units quite regularly, so I'm not gonna bother checking gas pressure. It's like 69 degrees, which is about right because we were reading about 67, 66 in there. And last I saw here, we were at 110. So let's call that 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. That's 40 degree temp rise. I can't imagine it's gonna get much more than that. I think we're gonna fall right in line with our temp rise. And it looks like we're slowing down around 115. So that's gonna be about a 45 degree temp rise. 115, I like it. 70 degrees, I'm calling it 70, it was 69. So 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 115, that is 45 degree temp rise, and we're good for 35 to 65. I think we're in good shape. We've not had many issues with this unit before. Anyway, got that Misfits of HVAC podcast tonight, guys. If you haven't checked out the Misfits of HVAC, every Saturday night we have an awesome guest on every Saturday night. You can check out the old episodes at Misfits of HVAC on YouTube. The lovely Miss Jennifer is the co-host. It's a good time. We really appreciate all the guests that have come on and all the people that tune in every week to watch. So guys, that's gonna do it for this one. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime we got a new video coming out. Leave me a comment, hit like. Appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.